Well, hello then, I do hope you're all well. Now shall we watch the superb Ed Miliband absolutely make hay in the House of Commons? Now this was the all-important opposition debate ban on fracking for Shale Gas Bill. Yes, that one where when it came to the vote, the tag team for the Conservative Party of Jacob Rees-Mogg and Theresa Coffey were throwing their weight about around the back, so to speak. Allegedly. Well, while Red Ed was in full flow, he was asked to give way by East Antrim's DUP dunderhead Sammy Wilson, and that's no disrespect to the lovely people of East Antrim, and then by Conservative MP for East Worthing and Shoreham, Tim Loughton, and well, watch the Labour MP for Doncaster North and Shadow Secretary of State for Climate Change and Net Zero, Ed Miliband, go.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I move the motion standing in the name of my honourable and right honourable friends. Mr Deputy Speaker, we've called this debate to provide the House with the right that it should have to make the decision on whether fracking should be allowed to restart across our country. The Business Secretary made clear last week that he will not give the House a binding vote on the principle of the fracking ban, despite them overturning their manifesto promise to keep the ban in place, despite the concern on all sides of this House, despite the concerns of the public. If our motion is passed, it will mean that on the 29th of November, the House would debate a fracking bill in 6 weeks' time. We have done this today because we know what would have happened if we had a simple motion on fracking in the opposition day. The government would simply have abstained and ignored the vote, as they have in votes on the windfall tax, fire and rehire, the cut to universal credit, and no doubt they will try and do so with the motion that was just passed. Mr Deputy Speaker, this is about faith in politics. The government is seeking to break its manifesto promise without even getting the consent of this House. Today, we give all members a chance to make this crucial decision on fracking. Now let me go through the substantive arguments against fracking. There are 4 key questions for the House and the country. Will it make a difference to the price of energy? The answer is no. Is there categorical evidence that it is safe? The answer is no. Is it consistent with any remotely serious response to the climate crisis? The answer is no. And crucially, do people want it? The answer is no. I will give way, yeah.
Would he also accept there's another question to be asked? Namely, since we require to have gas to at least 2050, £1 trillion worth of gas to be imported, well, a vital question is, where are we going to get that gas from?
Speaker, I do say to him, we can have a debate about North Sea oil and gas, for example. Fracking is in a wholly different category. It is dangerous, it is expensive, and it is not supported by the public. Now, first, price. Let me just make a bit more I will give way, yeah.
The honourable gentleman. He knows that I, like many of my colleagues, are not in favour of fracking and would like us to maintain our manifesto commitment. But he also knows that by playing party political games this afternoon, there is no way that we could vote for his motion. Is he more interested in genuinely opposing fracking, or is he actually more interested in playing party political games and trying to score points on this really important issue of great importance to our constituents?
Well, I'm glad we've got a member on the opposite side who wants to uphold their manifesto. It's a refreshing change, I have to say, Mr Deputy Speaker. But here's the thing, he should be directing his point to the right honourable gentleman, the Secretary of State. He was explicitly asked on the radio last week, will he give the House a binding vote on this issue? And I think the case for it is massively strengthened by the fact that the party opposite is breaking its manifesto promise. He said no. And we are forcing this debate because it is the only way we can give the House a binding vote on this issue. I want to talk about...
Absolutely superb, weren't they? Absolutely schooled them both, didn't he? Well, it's not hard to do it with Sammy Wilson, is it? He makes a complete bell tap of himself every week, doesn't he? And Ed was right, you know, there isn't local support for it. So, to me, his question's just irrelevant when you come to think about it. But Tim Loughton, come on. It's not Labour's fault your party's complete disarray and the government is basically an absolute mess, innit? And you didn't see this coming. And if the shoe was on the other foot, you do exactly the same. So spare the pearl clutching. You either vote with your conscience or you vote with your party. It's the way it is. But I just thought he was superb, wasn't I? I think there might be one more, possibly two more, with the superb Ed Miliband, because he was absolutely brilliant. But anyway, I shall leave the video here, and until the next time, I shall bid you farewell and take care.